Broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Welcome everyone to our webinar on how to integrate virtual tape into your IBM backup and recovery. My name is Axe Signer, Vice President of Solutions here at Electronic Storage Corporation. Just a quick background on our company. We've been in business for over 30 years. We are a software developer, so here in our Tulsa, Oklahoma office, we have our own programming staff, also our own technical support staff. Here in Tulsa, we are a Microsoft certified partner and IBM registered business partner. So today's overview, we're going to talk about how to identify backup and recovery issues that you may be having currently, either with physical tape or existing VTL solution, how to replace physical tape and tape libraries, use virtual tape in conjunction with physical tape, reduce the complexity of your backup and recovery functions, remotely manage your backups without being on site with your server, easily backup to deduplication appliances and to the cloud, and improve your ability to recover from a ransomware attack. So identifying backup and recovery issues, what is it that's not working for you, and what do you need to happen that isn't happening now? Are your backups taking too long to run because they are being saved to tape? Are the length of those backups, are they tying up business operations going over your current backup window? IT staff have other priorities rather than dealing with physical tape. Reduced personnel time needed to manage and oversee backup operations. Need to ensure that backups are complete. Easier way to archive and purge data. Recovery of data is slow, especially from tape. We're going to talk about how much faster and easier it is to recover from virtual tapes that are always available and online, even if you're not in the data center. Want to incorporate a deduplication appliance, replicate data to cloud. Maybe your current solution is too expensive. Maybe you have an existing VTL solution that is either maintenance is about to increase, tape library is getting aged out and needs to be replaced. So these are all situations that might be occurring where you can look at a VTL solution to solve those issues. Strengthen your disaster recovery protection. We're going to talk about multiple copies of your backups, very easily done with a disk-to-disk backup solution compared to tape. Require fast recovery in case of ransomware attacks. So this gives you the ability to get access to virtual tapes much quicker rather than physical tapes. So needing to find a replacement that reduces the maintenance costs, complexity, and backup and recovery functions without disrupting your current operations. And that's how simple our VTL solution is in order to incorporate this into your current backup solution, whether you're using a BRMS backup solution, robot save, or just simply the go save commands to easily migrate those over into a virtual tape library system, because your backups are not going to change. They're going to run exactly the same way that they currently run. So many companies use virtual tape for their daily, their weekly, monthly incrementals, differential backups, and they also continue to use physical tape for long-term storage and archive of those backups. With that, you can understand that you'll now have two copies of your backups. You can have an on-premise fast recovery copy that's always available and online. You can replicate any of those backups to physical tape for long-term storage, for air gap, things like that give you the ability to have two copies of your backups, which of course is not really possible with tape. Tape is not really a solution to make a backup of the backup for extra protection in recovery. Reducing the frequency to have to manually manage storage and transport tapes results in significant time savings for systems and IT personnel. And especially recently with folks having to work from home, not being able to travel to and be present at the data center in order to deal with tapes. So as opposed to doing all of that, you're able to run everything remotely with a disk-to-disk backup solution without having to deal with physical tapes. Virtual Tape Library Emulation Solution is a replacement for physical tape libraries for IBM Power Systems. Now, our solution is software, a software that we developed here with our own programming staff here in our Tulsa, Oklahoma office. And this software works whether you're using a server or you're using the software in a VMware or Hyper-V environment. And the connectivity between the server running the VTL and the iSeries platform would be fiber channel or SAS, the exact same as a physical tape device. So some of our customers, they'll connect LaserVault to another fiber channel or SAS port. They may have their tape library or their tape device still connected to that system, and it becomes another tape device or tape library that can be used on the iSeries for backups. So there is, in some cases, there may be no necessary hardware to purchase for LaserVault. If you want to run LaserVault in a VM, and if you possibly even have disk storage like a SAN or NAS storage for your backups. So the key to replacing physical tape is that you want it to look exactly like physical tape to your IBM I. You'll know the difference, but the IBM I won't know the difference, and there's many reasons why you'll know the difference, and the number one reason is the backup speed is going to be quite a bit faster in compared to tape when you're saving to disk. Virtual tape uses the same commands as all of the Go Save options that are built into the OS of the iSeries machine, as well as BRMS integration or robot save integration. And you eliminate the requirement of manual handling of tapes, saving time, reducing risks of losing data from tapes that get damaged, tapes that get lost, things like that. You'll know that your backups are always online and available anytime you need to perform a restore. 3, 2, 1 backup. So virtual tape is integral in achieving standard recommended backup and recovery by experts, where you can, with disk-to-disk backup, have at least 3 copies of your data on 2 different media technologies, one on disk, one on tape, one at a DR site or cloud storage, and have at least 1 copy that is offline and on site or off-site. So these are things that you can easily accomplish with disk-to-disk backup solution. That with tape, you basically you have 1 copy of your backup with tape. So you can choose to eliminate tape completely. There's several ways to do that. Replication to cloud storage, replication of your backups to a disaster recovery site, replication of your backups to tape and also to disaster recovery sites. And that's all built into our solution. And using virtual tapes means you no longer have to be on site. Backups can be managed remotely from any chair, anywhere, with access to your system. Once you set this up, everything can be done automated. No need for operations to be there handling tapes. So we appear as tape media to the IBM I. We're going to emulate a TS3200 tape library with up to 16,000 tape cartridges that can be added into the tape library at any time. You can add new media to this tape library without increasing the physical footprint of a tape library if you do need more tapes for your retentions. So this means you can keep many more retentions of your backups on site, on premise, available to restore. Also available for auditors to review those backups, because you're going to be able to store a lot more tapes on site, off site for replication. Things like that are going to give you a lot more flexibility when it comes to knowing that you can easily recover from any backup at any time. We do support NPIV, which gives you up to 15 tape devices per fiber channel connection. So that's up to 15 tape libraries with a tape drive each, or it could be a tape library with up to 15 tape devices. And this is with a single fiber channel connection, so you can instantly have multiple tape devices. Are you running things like parallel saves? Multiple partitions are being saved. So you're going to need multiple tape devices, and it's really simple to do with LaserVault and NPIV to provide additional tape devices for all your LPARs and all your parallel saves that you're running, possibly that you might be running from BRMS or Robot. Optional tape out feature. This diagram shows that I have a tape device connected to LaserVault, and I can run what's called our tape out function to copy from disk any tape to a physical tape that's connected to the LaserVault server, and that tape can be used in an iSeries. Now, this solution does allow you to do full system saves and demode IPL. So you will be able to do those exact same functions on a full system restricted save, as well as a demode IPL from any of these tapes which contain a full system save. You can recover bare metal with your operating system, licensed internal code, and all your user libraries. Integrated deduplication appliance. We have lots of customers that use Cohesity, Rubrik, Data Domain, Avamar, Commvault, HydraStore. Those are just to name a few deduplication appliances that you may currently already own, or that you may be looking at in terms of your other backups, your other open systems backups, where those are providing deduplication and replication of data. LaserVault can save to those appliances. We have many, many customers that use any one of these deduplication appliances for their iSeries in addition to their open systems. And so this means that, and what this also means is you can use any storage for LaserVault, SAN, NAS, deduplication appliance, whatever that you currently may have existing in your data center as disk storage for your backup. So LaserVault doesn't require disk storage on the server itself. It can write to any storage. Here I'm showing an example of a VTL Vital server connected fiber channel going and replicating to cloud storage. Now, LaserVault does have the ability to replicate to Microsoft Azure, Amazon S3. Others can also be defined for replication of your backups. Vital also has data deduplication, which could reduce the amount of data that you're saving up to 20 to 1. Could range from 10 to 1, but it could be as high as 20 to 1 compression of your data with our deduplication that's built directly into Vital, and also reduces the amount of data that you need to replicate to cloud storage. So how does this work compared to using manual tape? Let's take a look real quick at the interface. So this is the web interface that comes with our product. I'm able to log in with a secured username and password to access my tapes and my tape libraries. Let's look at library 1. You can go to your tape library that's been defined and easily see all of the tapes that are currently in the tape library in inventory. This is the drive 1. So if you do have multiple drives defined for this tape library, you'd have drive 1, 2, 3, 4. The tapes are listed via serial number, just like physical tapes. You have a 6-character volume ID for each of your tapes. To create additional tapes, there's a create button up here at the top. You put in your 1, 2, or 3-character volume serial prefix. You can say create multiple tape images, and you can go ahead and have those tapes initialized, which takes just a few seconds. So once this is done, the IBM I will automatically show these tapes in inserted status. If you're using BRMS or Robot Save, those tapes are then added into those applications to be used in your backup rotations for your dailies, weeklies, and your monthlies. And it's just a matter of changing and copying your existing backup configuration to use this tape library, which in my case shows up as TAP MLB V1, and the tape device is TAP V1 is assigned to this particular tape library. So as soon as you turn this system on, you turn on the tape emulation software. If you have auto configuration turned on, you will instantly receive on your system a new tape library with however many tape devices that are defined within LaserVault, so that you can set up your backups immediately. There's also some cool features, like you can check the labels here, so you can see this is like kind of like doing a display tape. This is also stored in BRMS or Robot, but you can simply go here and just check to see which libraries are on a tape. You can move a tape into a drive, so now that tape is loaded in the drive. So if this is a full system save, I needed to do a demode IPL, just load the tape and then make this as a tape device available with a connection to a system, and boot up that system and load the OS and license internal code. You have the ability, since I'm administrator, I can delete tapes, export tapes, protect tapes. Protecting tapes means that they cannot be initialized, they cannot be overwritten, they cannot be deleted. And if they're protected, they can't be deleted from this option here, delete, while they are protected. And we have a command on the iSeries that comes with our product to automatically protect your tapes when your backup is complete. You can run it as an exit program within BRMS to automatically protect your tapes. And then users that have access to this, you can limit them to which of these options that they have when they log in and access this interface to see the tape inventory. When you do define your tape library, you have the ability to define a library path. So in this case, I have a server that has an e-volume of disk and a folder for all my virtual tapes. So this server is containing the disk storage, the tape emulation software, the fiber channel connection to the iSeries or SAS connection, whichever that you need. And that is where I'm storing my backups. Instead of that, you could have a share path to storage. So this could be a SAN or NAS share path to storage. And that would give you the ability to write the backups to that storage. So this could be a deduplication appliance, as is Rubrik, Exagrid, Cohesity, just to name a few of the deduplication appliances in which LaserVault can have data and virtual tapes stored. So that is where your virtual tapes are stored, and that's where the data is written during a backup. LaserVault emulates Ultrium 5. A couple of important things to know about this is that this does not affect speed of your backup. We don't write the data at Ultrium 5 speed. And also, these virtual tapes do not have an Ultrium 5 storage limit. So if your backup is 10 terabytes, you can fit that entire backup on one tape. So the question, you might have a question, does your current backup take multiple tapes because of the storage limit of your Ultrium version? You can reduce the number of tapes because the whole entire backup will always fit on one tape. The number of storage slots can go as high as 16,000 storage slots. You can increase that number anytime for the number of tapes that you need to add into your system for your rotations. You can increase the storage slots anytime and add more tapes anytime that you want. There's no license fee restriction on that number of storage slots, and that is per tape library. Data block file count. This is for backup speed. So the number one issue that our customers are resolving with disk-to-disk backup is the increased speed in the backup. That is a majority of our customers do experience an increase in the speed of their backups compared to tape. And then one of the ways that can be done is our data block file count option, because even though you're saving to, say, one virtual tape for your backup, the system is writing that data to 8 files at the same time. So it's a multi-thread write process that allows you to increase that number all the way to 32 files. And so you can change this number when you first set up this system to see which number of data block files gets you the fastest backup speed. Write cache and read cache. This is also for write cache is for backup speed. That can go to 24 meg write cache. Read cache is for restore speed. That can also go to 24 meg. The software comes with compression, which averages 5 to 1. Deduplication can be as high as 20 to 1. One of our most recent customers, on 4 of their 5 partitions, are getting almost 20 to 1. One of their other partitions is more like around 12 to 1, and they're replicating to cloud storage, all of those backups. Software, there is software encryption with an encryption key here. You can compress and encrypt. You can deduplicate the data, and you can also encrypt. Replication and retention. I have 3 different examples of replication. Network path. So let's say you have 2 LaserVault servers. You're deduping data on the source server as you're doing your backups, and that deduped data is being replicated to a second server. So that's an example of a network path where you're replicating from one server to the other. The other server could be in cloud storage. The server could be at a disaster recovery site. You can actually replicate to do 2 different locations at the same time if you wanted to do that. The other examples I have are Amazon S3 storage, Microsoft Azure storage. So this could be set up, and the way that these work is they have already cloud storage properties here for what is needed to access, in this case, blob storage on Amazon S3 for replication. Also for replication, you can define which volumes you want to replicate. The asterisk here means that I'm applying this replication configuration to all volumes with the asterisk. Send notifications. You can get email notifications of your replication jobs, and you'll receive during when they start, and you'll also receive emails when they've completed. Now for serial prefix, you can apply this replication to different volumes based on their prefix, which is typically like 1 or 2 or 3 characters that you apply when you create your volumes, and this replication would apply to those particular volumes. So you can replicate the number of volumes that you want in the most recent, or you can say replicate all volumes. It will not replicate volumes that are already existing at the target, whether that's cloud storage or a second vital server. Now, if you are using this to write to a deduplication appliance, Rubrik, Cohesity, Exagrid, those do replication for you. So that would be handling all the replication. The LaserVault server that resides at the DR site would be connected to the second deduplication appliance, which it would have access to those replicated volumes that are being performed by the dedupe appliance, Exagrid, Cohesity, Rubrik, etc. If you are using this as a tape device instead of a tape library, so say you're not using BRMS or Robot Save, you can go to these options below for local retention and remote retention and enable how long you want to store tapes. Because if you're not using BRMS or Robot Save, then you're either creating new tapes each day and you want to establish a retention on those tapes and keep them for a certain number of days locally as well as remotely if they're being replicated. If you are using BRMS or Robot Save, then that handles all your retention because it's going to rotate through expired tapes, and those will get initialized and reused. So that's all handled through BRMS or Robot Save. But you can do retention here. Replication jobs, there's a screen here that gives you a list of your replication jobs that could be in status running or completed. So this product works very easily with any backups that you're currently running, because it emulates tape or it emulates a tape library. So whatever your functions are in your tape backups, those are gonna apply to this solution really easily. So migrating over from physical tape to this, or any existing VTL solution for that matter, you're going to be able to easily switch over to this solution. And you have a lot of flexibility in terms of what hardware you'd like to use for hosting this software and also for storage. So incorporating virtual tape in your operations is essential for meeting modern day backup and recovery needs. And this is what, you know, a lot of folks want to go to because of whether it's restricted access to the data center, due to having to work from home, due to having, if you don't have easy access to your data center, then you won't have to worry about that because you're not dealing with physical tapes. You're going to be seeing results in shorter backup windows, faster recovery, because more tapes are available to you instantly with this solution. More tapes are available. If you're rotating tapes off-site, because you only have so many tape slots in your physical tape library, this is a really good solution for keeping those tapes always available, and also being able to generate and make multiple copies of your backups, which cannot be done with tape. So we do have some handouts available. Those are in the go to webinar option there, where we've got handouts, and there's three of those. So you're welcome to download those and take a look at additional information, as well as contacting us directly at info@laservault.com to set up a personal demo, because we'd like to learn about your iSeries environment, to see what requirements that you need in terms of storage, fiber channel or SAS, the amount of data that you're saving and the partitions that you're saving, so that we can get an idea of what kind of configuration that you need in terms of the connectivity to the iSeries, connectivity to your storage, and then also we will send you a $50 Amazon gift card when you complete a demo of our product. So kind of a bonus there. There'll be a recording of this webinar that we'll send to you. So feel free to share that with whomever on your team to get them interested, to see if they'd like to look at a VTL solution like LaserVault. All right, so there's our contact information there. We are giving away a Bose Bluetooth portable speaker, and you'll be notified via email once that drawing is completed. Yeah, deduplication with LaserVault Vital. So LaserVault Vital, as I mentioned earlier, does have deduplication. And this is deduplication that we developed with our own programming staff. And the reusable tapes and data deduplication, that's a good question, because in data deduplication, when you initialize a tape, that data is deleted, but not deleted from the deduplication, what they call the chunk store. So there's a process called garbage collection that needs to run periodically on the deduplicated data in order to eliminate those blocks that are no longer needed. So our deduplication is block level deduplication, and we're going to keep blocks that are still in use, basically data that's still there, that's not been initialized. Any tapes that are initialized, the data needs to be deleted from the deduplication chunk store, and that's done through the garbage collection. Newly created tapes in the library, you just simply add them into that web interface that I showed earlier. So you just add new tapes, or create a tape, a newly created tape library. Well, that should be configured through autoconfig. If you don't have autoconfig turned on, you can go into and create a device description for this tape device, because it'll show up in SST, and you can go ahead and the higher block file count. No, there's no disadvantage on that. We use the optimal block or I'm sorry, the block file count. There's no disadvantages of using that. You can most of our customers use 8 files in the data block file count. Most of them do. We've seen some performance enhancements with 4 instead of 8. We've particularly seen that in deduplication appliances, where we're getting a faster backup speed to deduplication appliances when only using 4 block files to write the data. But typically it's 8. We do have some customers that are doing 16, and they found the best speed at 16. And the read-write cache, that also does make a difference sometimes in the backup speed. A higher write cache could make a difference, and sometimes a lower write cache could make a difference. Performing test backups and changing those numbers for each test backup to get the best is what you can do to get the best speed. And that's our goal, is for the installation and the training of this product. Mostly we do remotely, but we're there to help you with those settings and those test backups to get the fastest backup speed that you can with LaserVault. Okay, well, it doesn't look like there's any additional questions. I want to thank everyone for your time, and please let us know if we can help you out with a demo and go over your iSeries backup requirements, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you very much.